the hospital.
Rushdie Abu Alouf there in Gaza for us. Well, I'm joined again by Saeed Shehata, who's from BBC Arabic. Saeed, good morning to you. So what's been happening overnight? What have you been hearing?
Overnight is more strikes from Israel, and even the spokesperson of the Israeli army, Daniel Hagari, confirmed that expansion of the ground operation. And there is like people putting social media from Gaza, like still the bombardment coming, our correspondent in Gaza. And all over the Arabic newspaper about that and their social media accounts. And the warning about like the hospital, it's traumatic for them because it's before warning for Al-Shifa hospital in the central west of Gaza. The same happening to this hospital, but it's impossible, as the Palestinian Red Crescent as well as the WHO, they said before, it's impossible to move the people from the hospital from north to the south. I know Israel want to make it like less civilian casualties when they do the ground operations second stage, as Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is saying that, but still for this kind of like hospital, it's impossible to do that.
Is it the Al-Shifa hospital in particular that the Israeli forces argue underneath there is a sort of Hamas operations, and they have bunkers underneath that hospital?
This is what they said. You know, like they said, Israeli officials said like they share information with their allies, especially the United States. They Hamas using the facility there in order to launch their attacks in a Shifa hospital. There is 3 hospitals there in this compound. And at the same time, also, I think Al-Quds, they suspecting that Hamas also using the facility for their attacks on Israel. So, but on the other side, it's, you know, the civilian being the price, and there is like pressure from the international community not to target this area.
President Biden's been on the phone again to Benjamin Netanyahu late yesterday. What are you hearing about diplomatic efforts now?
Yeah, Mr. Biden, and even he talked with President Sisi and the Prime Minister of Israel in order, because these 3 countries are the main players, if we can say, regarding the aid, regarding the negotiation, regarding the hostages, regarding for Israel to put like kind of a ceasefire or more aid. So there is, these 3 countries are the main players for this issue, and other players. In addition to that, the United Arab Emirates requested an emergency meeting for the Security Council later today. The Security Council failed in 4 occasions before, either because the veto of America or United States or Russia, to pass, you know, like a resolution in order to make a pause and ceasefire in order to allow the humanitarian aid. So the emergency meeting with the Security Council later might help to put some pressure on Israel and to accept that, and their allies to allow for a ceasefire, because even Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, saying he was worried about the more intensification of the bombardment because the civilians being the price.
And just briefly, when it comes to humanitarian aid, of course, there was real concern about everything running out. Fuel in particular was a real issue. What's the latest on that?
So it's like what happened yesterday, looting for the warehouses of the UNRWA and the other organization, because people are starving. For 2 days, they cannot like reach any, receive any food or anything. The fuel is a problem because the hospitals only allow people for emergency cases. So there is some people are injured, but they cannot be treated because of like the pressure on the hospital. Fuel is very important. Israel saying the fuel might go to Hamas and using it for military purposes. Also, they said Hamas keeping a lot of fuel to do that, but at the same time, you know, like there is ways to put like, you know, measures to make sure this fuel go to the hospital and to the internationally recognized international organization who work and provide aid for this hospital. So there is a way to do that in order to save civilians. This is a call from international community, from United Nations, other countries, even America, to help ease the tension and the pressure on the civilian people in Gaza.
OK, for now, thank you very much indeed. Saeed Shehata there from BBC Arabic.